About that time then, isn't it? So, we started a new map. This one is called Payload Aridpass. My goal with this map is to try to kind of harken back to the early TF2 days. It is going to be a 3 capture point payload map right now. You know, things change. You never know. But right now, that is the goal. That is the #1 thing I'm trying to do, is make a more traditional style map, keep it simple, stock theme, old school gameplay, essentially. So let's give you a little bit of a tour. Blue spawn room. I was trying to go for some angled kind of shapes, just to make it a little bit more interesting. You get your exit on this side, which is kind of real low ground. There's some big sight lines this way that may or may not get adjusted in the future. You get kind of your main exit here, which goes straight to the cart. Also exposed by that that long sight line. There's a sight up here as well. Why did I turn my HUD off? I don't know why I did that. I thought it'd look neater for the video. Now I'm already regretting it. And then you get your outer one here, which is kind of your counter-sniping position for anybody up on this ledge, anybody on these rocks over here. My goal is to not to shy away from sight lines, but to make them a little bit more deliberate with this one. My other goal, too, is, after hearing the feedback from Yavla, simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Make it a very simple layout without being too choke pointy. So right now, you come out, you have your right side kind of lower path where you're very exposed. You've got a lot of people raining stuff down and shooting at you. You get this little path up here with a little health boost top off. Possibility for a sentry nest here for defenders, which I haven't really seen them. It's a little bit more exposed than I think they'd like to be. But it does cover, just barely covers the edge of this path here. You got it, this little narrow choke point, which there tends to be a lot of fighting around here. Defenders have a lot of the high ground, but if blue can make it all the way through, they're right next to where the control point is. The main path, a lot of high ground for defenders. They can get up on here on the rocks. They can get up on the ledges here, rain down. Blue gets this little bit of high ground just for the start. And then they're pretty much back to low ground to push the cart. I was trying to think back, like I'm kind of channeling Goldrush, a little bit of Dust Bowl, a little bit of Upward, but not a whole lot. I'm kind of looking at those maps for inspiration. Got 60 seconds left on the clock already because I slacked off before I started recording. Also have this big long kind of flank route that I'll show you here in a second. So cart goes over the bridge here, comes here, and you kind of hit your first choke point. So for blue, this is kind of their first little flank. Besides the low route on the right side here, they get this upper route here. Tends to be a little bit of fighting here. Defenders don't tend to hold on to it much. It's not super advantageous, but this does give blue a little bit of cover to get up here, avoid any kind of sniper sight lines, and at most they're like going here. I kind of like this little jump here to this part. You also have the underbridge area, which, if you don't have this territory and this territory kind of captured, this is just a bowl of spam. It kind of sucks to push through, but that's the idea. Is I didn't want it to be too powerful. But it is a good spy route to kind of sneak up here and get behind any kind of defenses when they're holding this first point. And then you get into the building itself. And the building itself is very choky. I'm not happy with where this is right now. One of the last tests we did, this is only Alpha 2, so I've only iterated this map one time so far. But what I found is if defenders get a really strong hold in here, which there is a lot of high ground and it's a lot of tight doorways and a sentry nest in here and a good defense with like a resupply back here, It's really, really tough for blue to push this doorway. And that's after the capture point, so then it's like this whole building. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give blue some kind of flank into this building. It might even be a lower flank. I had this door. This literally does nothing right now. But I could possibly make this like a flank that goes behind behind the defenses if they got like a stronghold here. I actually have this little angle here. There's actually a stairway underneath it built in with a door right here. But while I was doing it, I went like, I'm adding too many routes. I need to calm down. So I'm already reining myself in. You guys should be proud of me. So cart goes up here. Let's turn the HUD back on. Yeah, I want to see the time and see what the cart path is looking like and everything. Real short, compact map is the idea. I didn't want to do a full length payload. I was going for something a little bit quicker paced, and it is going to be single stage. So attackers, they kind of get up here. They can push this way. Once they get out of this doorway, defenders tend to hold back a little bit further. I only had this window in the big door below before. This was something I added for A2. Forgot to set the speed on this door, which was silly. But this gives blue a little bit of a high ground to kind of push through here. They get a flank route to push through this way, kind of around where the car comes. This doorway here also connects, so it's this little like side area is kind of nice to fight in. I need some micro gameplay elements in the crates and boxes and like little platforms to stand on. It's really boring and flat in here right now. So coming out the door, I'm finding this area seems to be pretty fun. If red has a stronghold in this area, it's not as fun for blue, so I need to adjust that a little bit. But it's like pretty much this last push is is how I'm feeling. You get a teleporter sort of back here. You get red holding the ground up here, a little bit in this doorway, around the corner. It seems like it works pretty good. So let's show that route. It's probably a little too much right now on this side, because you can come up, you get a little exit this way. This is like a nice little sentry nest kind of staging spot for red right now. Right next to the cart path is this route, which is kind of a death chamber if you don't hold this territory yet, but once you take it, it's just kind of a new path. A little bit of health and ammo. I did some like really tertiary throwing around props just to give the feel of the map a little bit. This area I'm not sure about yet. My idea was just to kind of have this side flank route. This goes into last, like the lowest route. Up here, you can kind of push to last and peek through. You can kind of see what's going on. And then you come out and you're real exposed. It's kind of the upper like main route if you think of like Badwater. So let's push this cart. So kind of the main route. This is red's first spawn exit. They always spawn in the same spawn room. But this door closes off after the first capture point is taken. So it kind of increases the runtime a little bit. They don't get a direct route right here. That would suck. This little hallway's not too bad. I feel like it's kind of the classic like Dust Bowl choky hallway, but a little bit more open, a little bit more, more interesting. Like I said, I'm trying not to shy away from snipers. There's definitely some really big sniper angles. As per usual, I think with my last, I'm probably going to completely remake it from scratch. I never successfully make a last in a first like iteration. It'll probably take me quite a few to get this where I want it. But like right now, you get this big push down, kind of bad watery drop down into the last. Red has a lot of territory up here. There's one spawn exit there. They have another spawn exit on this side that comes out here and up here. And then they can also walk through, and they have this whole side. I'll show you from Red's perspective here in a second. Let's go through really quick. We're also already running out of time. Like I said, quick map. The lower route, you do kind of get this lengthy flank. You have to expose yourself a little bit here. There's this little corner to top yourself off on health and ammo. I put this in to make it so Red could see somebody using this far route, because otherwise it's almost like a straight run up close to their spawn. This used to have a staircase here, and then that was really bad that Blue could just go right up, and their spawn door is like right around the corner from here. So now if they want to get up there, they actually have to go all the way around and get up here. Here's Red's spawn door. Here's that drop down we were just facing. Really rough little sightline right here I need to fix. And then another way out for Red this way. There's a lot of crates on last. I'm kind of just simulating cover. I needed something to break up the space, but we'll do something different. Like I said, I'm probably going to remake this entire last from scratch here pretty soon. I'm not happy with it. It's generic. I don't like the weird sharp angles. I think the size is not bad, but right now it's just not that fun. I also gave Blue... There's like a little area back here that just connects to each other. Let's capture this real quick. Okay, so this is Red's perspective. At the start of the round, obviously they have a setup timer, and they'll get to run out. This door is locked. That's the one that comes out kind of on top on last. This door is open in case they did want to decide to go back, but I have some, I have dynamic changing spawn points, so they stay in this big giant room, but they spawn like over this direction facing this way, so. Red comes out, and they're right here. Their runtime is pretty not bad. Until after they capture... Blue captures first, which is like right around the corner here. Probably the worst angle sightline-wise is right here, but like I said, I'm trying not to shy away from them too much. I feel like it's not as bad as it feels. I just don't like that Red can kind of like hang out all the way back here and still be able to see, so maybe that's something I need to change. Oh god, yeah, they could even like get up on these rocks a little bit. Let's go to last really quick, because I think that's where the issues really lie, and that's where I want to talk about more. Also, oh yeah, by the way, this is a changelog video and or a development log video that I'm planning on starting a whole new series for this map. We did it successfully with Diablo from start to getting in game, and this one is going to be Aridpass as long as I can stay focused on it. You never know where a map's going to end up, so. Okay, from Red, I can't quite get to where I need to, but I kind of put this little cage around the final, but I feel like it's too much cover now. Once Blue gets past like the entrance here, it's pretty much game over. But I like the idea of being able to be on top of here for pretty much most classes. I think Heavy should be able to make that jump, so it should be everybody. This is the other spawn exit for Red, which is probably a little bit too far forward. For the rollout, they come out, I have this little bit of drop down and this, so they don't take fall damage. And then I also have this little ramp, so spies and whoever can get up here and, you know, sap tellies and whatnot. But yeah, overall, I don't like the last. It's a little awkward. I still took fall damage. Like I said, here's that little back area. You get a little small health pack and medium ammo. Red can see as Blue's pushing in. Like this, there's this little bit of cover here. There's kind of an interesting dynamic of seeing each other through here. There might splash damage when we work through it right now, but it's not quite there yet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the map. So like I said, I'm hoping to make this an ongoing series. If you'd like to keep up the development, be sure to follow along. Also, huge shout out to Agent Maxwell, Boston Austin, and all these other fine nerds here for supporting me on Patreon. It helps me continue doing this and justifying all the time I put into it when I don't get a mapping game. And if you would like to help playtest, join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it.